What if billions of dollars, tens of thousands of workers, and the dreams of entire nations ended up as nothing but piles of concrete or holes in the ground? Every year, thousands of ambitious structures break ground around the world. And only a few people know the truth. Most of them will never be finished. Today we're looking at 10 of the most remarkable buildings from around the world. From the USSR to Africa, from Egypt to Spain, number 10. Rugyong Hotel, North Korea, 105 floors, 330 meters tall. Construction began in 1987. It stopped in 1992. The reason? Economic collapse after the Soviet Union cut its subsidies. For 16 years, the hotel stood as a bare, concrete ghost in the heart of the capital. Empty windows, no tenants, no purpose. Construction resumed in 2008, but the hotel remains closed to this day. The mistake. The state launched a project it couldn't afford to finish. The classic trap of prestige construction, starting for the sake of image, not results. Number 9, Ziggurat of Etemenanki, the Tower of Babel, Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. The Tower of Babel itself, not a myth, but a real structure. Around 600 BC, when Alexander the Great conquered Babylon, he saw the ruins and ordered its restoration. Tens of thousands of workers began clearing the rubble. But Alexander died in 323 BC, and the work stopped forever. Today, the site is a waterlogged pit in Iraq, the oldest unfinished building on our list. The mistake. The entire project depended on one person. The person disappeared, and so did the project. Number 8, Tatlin's Tower. USSR architect Vladimir Tatlin conceived a revolutionary structure, a double steel spiral standing 400 meters tall with 3 rotating chambers inside, a Congress hall, an administration center, and a press office. The problem? The young Soviet state had no steel, no money, and no technology to build it. The tower remained a scale model, a utopian masterpiece that never moved, though it desperately wanted to. The mistake? The idea outran the era and the resources. A brilliant vision without a realistic plan is just a beautiful drawing. Number 7, Palace of the Soviets. USSR Moscow, the 1930s. Stalin wanted the tallest building in the world, 415 meters high, topped with a 100-meter statue of Lenin. To lay the foundation, the Cathedral of Christ the Savior was demolished. Then World War II arrived. All the prepared steel went to anti-tank hedgehogs and military bridges. The project was frozen. The foundation pit became the Moscow Pool, one of the largest open-air pools in the world. In the 1990s, the cathedral was rebuilt on the very same site. The mistake? A leader's personal ego was placed above the real priorities of an entire nation. Number 6, Sagrada Familia, Spain, Barcelona, 1882. Antoni Gaudí began building the cathedral knowing he would never live to see it finished. Gaudí died in 1926, struck by a tram. Yet construction has never stopped in 142 years. The Sagrada Familia is the only entry on our list that is a masterpiece precisely because of its incompleteness. The projected completion date is 2026, exactly 100 years after the architect's death. The insight that flips the logic. Sometimes the greatest things are those that are built without end. Number 5, the unfinished houses. Egypt is the only country in the world where incompleteness has become a folk architectural tradition. Thousands of buildings across the country stand with bare concrete columns rising above the roofline. The reason is simple and ingenious. Unfinished construction is taxed at a much lower rate. Families live on the lower floors for years, while the upper floors are permanently under construction. For future children, grandchildren, or simply to avoid paying taxes. The systemic mistake. When the law rewards incompleteness, incompleteness becomes the norm. Number 4. Intercontinental Hotel. Algiers, 1970s. A 25-story hotel was meant to become the flagship of the country's tourism industry. From the outside, nearly finished. On the inside, complete emptiness. No utilities, no finishes, no fittings. Then came the Civil War of the 1990s. The project was frozen. The building stood as a phantom in the city center for decades. Offered for sale, scheduled for demolition, promised for renovation. Its fate remains officially unresolved to this day. The mistake: no project that looks almost done on the outside is done until it's finished on the inside. Number 3. Bridge over Lake Kivu. DR Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. The bridge was supposed to connect two halves of the country and open new trade routes. Construction began, then stopped, frozen by decades of armed conflict and chronic underfunding. The concrete piers still rise from the water. Local residents still cross the lake by boat, exactly as they did before construction ever started. The piers became a symbol of hopes dissolved in political chaos. The mistake: building without stable peace is building on sand. Number 2. The Johannesburg Skyscraper. South Africa, Johannesburg, 1990s. A company announced the tallest building in Africa was coming. The foundation was poured, the underground levels were built, a loud press conference was held. And then they vanished. Investors pulled out. The company went bankrupt. A few floors of concrete skeleton jutted skyward for years. Locals dubbed it the most expensive hole in African soil. Eventually, what remained was demolished. The mistake: public promises without financial foundations are the fastest road to failure. Number 1. The People's House, Palace of Parliament. Romania. And now, the greatest paradox on our entire list. Bucharest, 1984. Nicolae Ceausescu orders the demolition of an entire medieval district, thousands of homes, churches, hospitals, to build a monument to himself. Numbers that are hard to grasp. 20,000 workers on site around the clock, in 3 shifts, 700 architects involved in the project, 1 million cubic meters of marble used inside the second largest administrative building in the world. After the Pentagon. A question for you: which building from this list hit you the hardest, and why? Write it in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this video worthwhile, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you there.